Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're right on time this week, not a late podcast. So it almost seems like you get two for the price of one because the last one was so late, number 12. But this is number 13 now. Can you believe we've already been doing this for a number of weeks, 13 weeks?
Wow. No, can't believe it.
It's been, what is that, over 2 months?
Yeah.
Easily, yeah. It's good, though. We're having a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get started with some indie books, actually. Let's go ahead and get into the winter spirit. The holidays, Simpsons Winter Wingdings number 7. This is a $4.99 book, and it's made up of 48 pages, so you get a lot of pages for those $5. Different authors, different artists, and you get different stories in it as well. Grandpa Simpson, there's a really good one talking about Springfield and why it suddenly stopped snowing there. What was your favorite story of those little ones?
I loved the grandpa stories. Their grandpa saying how Christmas traditions began, so my favorite one, I think, was one with the eggnog, and you got this weird little, goat thing, and was it Jesus? I don't know. Somebody found him, and it laid an egg, and it cracked it open. Oh, this is amazing. I need this stuff. So then Santa gets a hold of it, and it gives him superpowers. And anyway, it ends up with Grandpa taking a bath in the eggnog to try and stay younger, and it just had me rolling. It was so funny. I'm not usually a big fan of The Simpsons. They're usually lower on my list, but I think this one was definitely worth the money.
Yeah, Winter Wingdings was great. I love these. I love the summer shindig, I think is what they call them. I always try to get these seasonal books as well because you get a lot of story, like I said. And the Grandpa Simpson ones are actually my least favorite part of the book.
No, they're so funny.
I like I guess I would call the main story in it. Like I said, Springfield, it stopped snowing and they kind of try to figure it out. Although I did know how it stopped. Like, I saw that coming from a mile away. I was like, well, this is why. Because you keep cutting to this certain thing in the story. I keep seeing this certain object in the panel, and I'm like, okay, this is probably what's causing all the snow to not come to Springfield.
Okay, Mr. Know-It-All.
And then there's a cool Itchy and Scratchy holiday special in the back as well.
That one made me laugh, too.
Yeah,
really
I would love if Itchy and Scratchy was in every single month of all the Simpsons. There's also a Professor Frink one that just got solicited in this month's previews. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. It's part of the one-shots that they do for each of the separate characters. We also tried something new this week, The Nowhere Man. This one's written by Eric Stevenson. This one's published by Image. And this is number 1, so it's a brand new series coming out. What did you think about this one, The Nowhere Man?
It's just beginning. I think they outline the characters well. I like the first half of the book better with the 4 scientists, more than I like the second half, which introduces, 6 people?
Yeah.
Who are stuck in a quarantine with some disease that's mutating their bodies all differently. And I believe you're going to follow them and how they're dealing with this and trying to get out. I mean, it's an okay beginning. I don't know I hadn't even heard of it. I don't know where they're going to go with it. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah,
there are 4 scientists. That was one of my problems as well, is there are 4 people that they introduced to it. And then you get these new characters. We're halfway through the story, so right when you're getting to know these first 4, they introduce these other ones. And they tried to kind of save some time by having a couple of the pages near the beginning just literally tell you everything about these characters, what their favorite movies and whatnot are.
They're set up as, because they're celebrities, so they're set up as a magazine interview.
From what I understand, in this world, being a scientist is the status of celebrity, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
See, that's pretty cool, I think. That's pretty awesome. But from what I got of this, they're sick, but it seems like they're mutating almost like superpower-ish. One guy, his hand went through a keyboard. The other guy's supposedly turning inside out, but his hands are getting bigger.
Huge.
So it seems to me like that's kind of where it's going. I could be wrong, but it seems like that's what they're doing with it.
No, I'd agree. That's what it looks like.
Now on to the DC side.
We have The Legends of the Dark Knight, called Letters to Batman, written by Steve Niles. Your thoughts?
This was number 3 in The Legends of the Dark Knight. I think this one is it's not my pass of the week, but I will say you should hold off on it.
Yeah, it's lower.
I don't know if you remember, we talked about the last Ultimate Spider-Man, the one that's based on the cartoon. There was one issue in which Spider-Man gets a bunch of letters sent from him from all the people from New York, thanking him for all the work that he's done, and they're all saying, well, you probably won't ever read this. This is exactly the same thing. It's the same exact type of issue. And I don't know how many times they've done this with every superhero book out there, but I'm going to say this is probably not the second time.
No, definitely not. One thing I did like about it, and I wouldn't pick it up this week, guys, if you're strapped for cash, but one thing I did like about it is it did present that a piece of Batman where he is always trying to help people stay away from crime. So he gets one kid thrown in jail. The kid writes to him once he gets out, I was really, really angry at you, but then another kid came in that you threw in jail. And then I realized that that kid used to be me, and that I need to straighten up my life. And Batman actually goes back, right when he's about to, I guess, kill himself. And he's like, no, don't do it. Here, I'll find you a job.
Yeah, and he was going to go back to crime as well because they gave him that gun and they said, you're going to get hungry soon and you're going to need to go back to crime. And that's kind of reflects upon the world as well. Once you go into jail, people are less likely to hire you, and that kind of reflects on a part of that life for people that have been there for Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I do feel that is a very strong point of Batman, though, to not only stop crime, but to help reform these people as well.
This exactly reminded me of that episode from Batman the Animated Series. I think it was from season 1, where Batman is just pouting around the Batcave, like. And this is back when Kevin Conroy had that more breathy voice. He was like,
Alfred.
What is the point of it, Alfred? Why do I do this? And Alfred's like, sir, quit being a little bitch and get out to Gotham. It's the same one where Gordon got shot and Batman was just blaming himself the entire time. This is pretty much the same thing. Although what was cool about it, and this is my favorite part of the book, spoilers if you are going to get it, the Joker sends him a package, and it's a little revolving door, like a little model of one, with a message. I think it says, you'd might as well not exist. And it just perfectly symbolized his feelings, because he felt like, I just throw him in jail and the system spits him right back out. Mm-hmm. So that was one cool thing about it. But like we said, yeah, skip on it for now. We'll see how the series continues.
Next we have Batman Detective Comics. This is continuing the Death of the Family. This is number 15, written by John Layman. This one was more of a filler this week. It follows Clayface and his relationship with Poison Ivy and how he believes that they're husband and wife and the truth behind that.
So you said you kind of like that, right? You like that relationship between the two characters, between Clayface and Ivy?
I love stories.
Batman being the man that he is, people will argue that Batman cannot stand seeing people happy. He always has to be that man that kind of ruins it by giving them reality, but that's kind of what he does, He lets them know this is actually how things are. You are not happy because of the reasons you think you are. This is actually what's wrong. And that's what he ends up doing with Clayface. We're not going to tell, the entirety of the book, but he does end up breaking down Clayface in a way and revealing to him. Right, breaking
him down in a way he never had before, in a way he didn't believe was possible. Yeah, is what he actually says in the book.
I think that was the point of the book, too, yeah.
It was really sweet. I think Clayface is a really tragic character. I think they brought him even more tragic in this book. It was sad.
But if you're reading this based on the cover, because it has the Joker's face on it and it supposedly connects with Death of the Family, don't read it simply because of that, because it does not. If you're only following Death of the Family, skip out on Batman Detective Comics number 15. Otherwise, it does introduce a new villain at the end of it that connects to the Penguin. So we'll see where that goes, too. I think that seems like a cool villain. I'm not going to say who it is, maybe next week or next month when the new one comes out, but I think that was kind of cool, his little code and everything.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes.
Also, we got Before Watchmen, number 4 of 6, Ozymandias. This one's written by Len Wein, and it's got that beautiful art by Jade Lee. This one wasn't as good as number 3. I've been enjoying the Ozymandias personally.
You just like seeing him fawn over Dr. Manhattan.
So do you.
Well, yes, but that's a requirement for me.
And he kind of did do it in this one, too, because he's like, newest footage of Dr. Manhattan, now.
This one, I think, again, was a filler. It's a timeline. It's pretty much, okay, this is the date, this is what was happening. This is the date, then this happened. Then this, that.
Yeah, it goes through the Kennedys, Marilyn Monroe, and...
Correct. Leading up to when he actually joins the Watchmen. So I think it'll pick up after this. But again, it was just a filler this week.
It was. Hopefully 5 and 6 will go somewhere. I mean, it has to. It has to go somewhere with it. I don't know. I wonder if it's going to go to right before he murders the comedian. Or it'd be kind of cool if they showed you a little bit after Watchmen. Mm-hmm. But then it wouldn't be called Before Watchmen, I guess. I still think they should do After Watchmen after this. A lot of people would be fucking pissed, but do After Watchmen and have them meet the Justice League, meet the rest of the DC superheroes, just for the hell of it.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Only to satisfy me, because DC should be around to...
Okay, just to satisfy you, Dan.
Have Dr. Manhattan confront the Batman. How cool would that be?
Batman would win.
Or Batman with Ozymandias, who's supposedly the smartest man alive.
Batman's already beaten both of them. They just don't know it yet.
Contingency plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next is The Comedian, number 4 of 6, written by Brian Azzarello and art by J.G. Jones. This one's going to be my pass of the week.
My pass of the week as well.
I haven't been thrilled with The Comedian. This one, I think, further confirms it. Maybe if I were more into politics and war, the whole point of the book is none of it matters. It's all, you're doing this, and it's just a giant joke, and none of it matters.
Which we've heard a lot of already in the regular Watchmen series, so you get just more of this. And we like Brian Azzarello. If you're a Batman fan, you've got to like Brian. But just this one has been one of the weaker before Watchmen books out of the whole lot.
Right. It could be because I just don't, I'm not big into The Comedian. If The Comedian's one of your favorite characters, you may like it. I think it personifies him very well from what we've seen from the Watchmen, the book, and the movie. I think it does a good job of showing you the comedian. I don't like his character as much.
I like Comedian more in Watchmen. I think that does a fantastic representation of who he is. Like that one scene where he's crying with his one nemesis, his villain, and he's just weeping to him drunk, telling him that it's all a joke. Like that right there, completely, that's all you need for the Comedian. It's perfect. And then our pick of the week, Minutemen, number 5 of 6. This is part of the Before Watchmen, written, drawn, everything by Darwin Cook.
Beautiful. This is a beautiful comic.
It is our pick of the week. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing some great art. And I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like Darwin Cook's art, that it feels too old-timey. I love that. That's what I like. If they were to start doing Batman books or Catwoman or anything in that style, I would not complain.
Even if it was written terribly. Even if Batman and Catwoman ended up together, and Batman said, "Talia, I never loved you. You suck."
Yeah, Batwoman and Catwoman.
No, Batman and Catwoman.
That's what I heard.
No, I corrected myself. You would still read it.
I would. The art is really nice.
All right, I'm
I really like it.
Contact Mr. Cook here.
Well, if we run into him at a convention, you can tell him.
No, I'm contacting him. I got those connections.
Just Dear Darwin Cook. Mail it out. That's the email address, Dear Darwin Cook.
Is he like, what's those advice columnists? Dear Jane or something like that?
But the Minutemen number 5, it actually has the last mission of the Minutemen right before they kind of break up and retire each on their own. And it has that last mission, which was pretty heavy for most of the team members. Really recommend Minutemen as a whole. Number 5 of 6. It's so good.
Right. This one also, it was only $3.99. It had so much in it, though. You had the continuation of he's trying to find the lost children that he did with, I forgot her name.
Yeah, it escaped me too.
She was Russian, wasn't she?
Yeah.
It's the Russian lesbian who was killed.
Yeah.
And she was on a mission to find these children who went missing. So it's continuing that with a very I didn't see it coming
type of ending.
Right. The villain who was behind it. I didn't see it coming. So you get that. You see how the world is changing, where all these masked people have to report now to the government. They have to take off their mask and announce who they are. You have Silk Spectre and what's going on with her. And I love when he sees Lori for the first time. I thought that was just precious. That was a great moment. You have this last mission, like we said. There was a ton of stuff in here. It was great. I loved every second of it.
Yep, very good. Minutemen is awesome, especially now that Silk Spectre is over. This is the one we're going to be looking forward to from now on. Well, some more stuff on the previews that we wanted to talk about that was in the previous catalog. We'll go to yours right away.
Yes.
Young Romance, New 52, coming out.
February. I can't wait.
Valentine's Day special.
What was the line? Go ahead. Tell me the line again.
What, Superman and Wonder Woman?
No. What was my favorite line?
It was something like, can Catwoman repair Batman's heart?
Heart. After the events of Death of the Family. Yes, she can. I'm so excited. Not Talia. Catwoman.
Wouldn't it be more fitting, though, if she couldn't repair his heart because he is so brought down by the events?
It would be perfect, because they're meant to be together.
No, whatever.
You're just mad because Talia wants them both dead.
I'm more looking forward to the Superman and Wonder Woman romance in it, because you're going to find a way to connect it to Batman.
Yep, already found a way.
What's the way?
Well, he still sees her as Batman, as an illegitimate, or as a connection to Batman. So by dating her, he can pretend he's dating Batman. Besides, she's kind of like big and manly too. She's an Amazon, so
she's like, I guess this is kind of like Batman.
He probably makes her dress as Batman at night or something. I don't know.
And also the Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. We mentioned that a couple of podcasts ago, but there's a really cool variant coming out by Pendleton Ward. He's doing the art for that, which is the creator of Adventure Time. We're looking forward to that variant. I think
I'm
it's going to be
looking
awesome.
forward to LSP in that, who's exactly like regular LSP, but with a mustache.
A little thin mustache, so it's not even like a thick one.
It's like a creepy porno mustache.
And also the Justice League of America. We got a preview of all the covers. They're going to do one for each state, including Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. That one I think is going to be kind of cool. I still don't know how they're going to explain Catwoman being a part of it. Other than the Gotham City Sirens, I never thought, like, oh, she would totally work on a team or something, you know?
She'll find a way. She's Catwoman. She'll do it for Batman.
I hope it's good. I mean, it's written by Jeff Johns, so we'll see what happens.
Should be good.
Can't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it with the DC theme, we finally saw The Dark Knight Returns. We actually forgot to talk about it last week. And this is the animated adaptation of the book. This is part 1 of 2, because they split up the movie into 2 parts, which was smart on their part, because you don't want to make the movie too long where people have to sit through it in one sitting. At the same time, they make double the money, and at the same time, they can do the story some justice. Being a fan of the original book, I thought that it adapted really well. There was no internal monologue is the only thing. That's one of the biggest difference between this and the book. Even with that, I felt that you still kind of knew what Batman was going through. You felt his emotions without that inner monologue. I kind of felt like it worked better without it. What do you think?
I agree. I never read the original. This movie was the first experience that I got of it. And I agree, you could definitely, you're going through the emotions with Batman at the time that they were happening. I thought they did a wonderful job.
And this one, part 1, starts and ends. It ends with the Joker coming back about and him bringing down the mutant leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Robin. He's got the new Robin as well, which you see in this one, too, and they work together. But what'd you think of the voice of Joker that they chose for the new one? It was a lot deeper.
Right. It's not Mark Hamill.
No.
I'm always going to be a fan of...
What did I think of not Mark Hamill? Well, not Mark Hamill, did I?
Was not Mark... I would have to hear more of it. I don't know how he's going to really act as the Joker. There's so many different ways that you can go with that character. I think Mark Hamill will always and forever be my Joker.
And they didn't... no Kevin Conroy either.
I know. I thought this guy did a good job, though.
RoboCop did good. Did an excellent job.
Kevin Conroy would have been better.
Yeah, must have been sick.
He must have been sick. But, yeah, he did a good job.
And I think part 2 I'm looking forward to more than part 1, because not only do you get the Joker, and if you've read the book, you know the death of the Joker, but you get that awesome fight at the end between Batman and Superman, where Superman is sent to Gotham to keep Batman and his now new gang at bay, and Batman's like, no, don't you see? This is what it's supposed to be. We need this. The people, the courage. You've just become another puppet to the government. And Superman's like, no, you have to stop this now.
I love you.
I don't want to hurt you.
Love you.
And this is the book where I can't wait to hear that delivery when he's like, Bruce, your heart. when his heart starts failing.
My favorite Superman line ever was from when Batman was lost in time and they were trailing after him. And they land in... When was it? It was the prehistoric era or whatever.
Yeah.
And Superman just lands. He's like, oh, I don't hear his heartbeat. He's not here. Like, how'd you memorize that?
Yeah, that's what he's just like, how do you know he's not here? And he's like, I memorized his heartbeat.
How did you know?
It's weird and creepy. No one brought that up either. They were all just like, oh,
okay, I guess
he's not here. Let's go find him. No one went, hold on a minute,
They
Superman.
all know he's gay, too.
Oh,
They're
know,
not,
too?
Yes, everybody
So it's not a secret for Superman anymore?
No, Superman thinks nobody knows.
Well, then why would...
But everybody knows.
Why would Lois Lane and Wonder Woman and all them still go out with him?
They're pity.
I think with the New 52 launch, it's a secret again.
Okay, fine, it's a secret. But back in the day, it wasn't. Did he have a girlfriend back then? No.
Sure. Yeah.
They had girls with him because he was safe. He was somebody you can bring home to mom and dad, and you don't have to worry about, anything else.
Also, moving on to Pokemon, we saw that last week's episode.
Amazing.
Yeah, it had the three heroes in this one tournament, and of course you got Ash and
Silent.
Well,
and Iris.
Iris had this badass Pokemon that is even more badass than the fucking Krabby that Ash had back in the day.
Oh, so you admit he's better than the Krabby?
I'm going to say he's as badass as the Krabby.
Okay.
Because if you remember that old episode, I wish I had some clips of it or some way to upload it on YouTube. But Krabby took down all 3 of the opponent's Pokemon, which included a Golbat, an Executor, and a Seadra. Well, no, it was a Kingdra, right?
I don't remember.
It was a Kingdra, because he took it out with a Bubble Beam. Well, this little Krabby...
It's not very effective, Krabby.
Well, it's not the way the show's logic completely astounds me still. Obviously, Bubble Beam wouldn't even work, but he, like, slips. Like, the Bubble Beam causes the Kingdra to slip on the water, and then he jumps up and Crab hammers the shit out of it. And you can never do that in the game. You can never be... You can't even do that thing in the anime where Venusaur wraps his vine whips around Charizard, holds onto him, and Charizard gets electrocuted by a thundercloud that Pikachu had previously set up in another battle. So
you know this because you tried.
Well, in the old one, like I said, Krabby finishes off an Executor with Stomp. And if you know how small Krabby is, you just see these 2 little legs kind of tap him on the head. But they make this loud sound effect like Stomp, and he's knocked out by the fucking Stomp, and then he evolves and he kicks more ass, right?
Oh, doesn't he die?
You want to talk
that?
about this Dragonite? No, he beats those guys, and then in another battle he does get defeated.
Oh, okay. This Dragonite was... I was already excited when she brought out Dragonite. She caught him in the episode before this. Because he's the original 151, and those are my babies. Like, those will forever be Pokemon, and everything else is just kind of... Pokemon. But those 151...
No. The original are Pokemon. The new ones are Pokemon.
Pokemans. So she brings out this Dragonite, and he's fighting an ice type. It was a giant bear.
Yeah, the giant bear with the fur sticking out of his general area there.
Yes. Look up a picture. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I'll put it up on YouTube.
Okay. So, the first thing he does is he launches... What is it? Ancient Power or
Hidden
something.
Power.
Hidden Power. And Iris is like, okay, dodge it, Dragonite.
You've got those wings, use them.
And Dragonite punches them out of the way.
He backhands them like bitch slap.
Whatevs. And it was the most amazing moment ever because the crowd grew silent and my jaw literally dropped. And I went, what was that? That was the coolest thing ever. Well, it gets better. Next, he launches, I don't know, Focus Beam or something like that. And
Focus
she's like,
Blast, yeah.
And she's like, okay, Dragonite, you have to move now. And
this is a strong-ass attack.
He plants both his feet, and he catches it in his hands. And he's like, and then it just disappears.
Yeah, it just, like he like sucked its energy or something. I don't know, he was just like, nah, this isn't going to hurt me.
Not scary. So then the next attack, they're like, okay, get him with an Ice Beam. And he gets frozen there. Just his little head is sticking out.
He stands there again, and he takes the Ice Beam, freezes up his body.
Super effective, by the way.
Yeah, if you don't know, dragons are super weak against ice types.
Yes. So then Iris is like, oh, shit, what are you doing? Use, like, Fire Blast or something.
She's like, Flamethrower for the next Ice Beam that's coming, because that'll melt it.
And Dragon's like, nah, I'm just going to stand here.
Yeah, he closes his eyes and just takes the Ice Beam, and he gets completely frozen. At this point, you were like, what the hell is he doing? Like, we were both like, what?
It's done now. What's going on? And I was like, damn it, I lost. Well, then...
I'm thinking that he's going to be knocked out, and then she's going to yell at him after the match. Like, Dragonite, you have to listen to me. I know you're level 100, but come on.
Well, then the ice starts shaking, and he cracks his little eye open like they always do when they're, like, getting pumped up. And he goes, brah! And he breaks out of it.
He breaks out of this fucking ice.
Just, blah! Not even uses his attack, just breaks out of it with his Dragonite dragonness. So then the lady's like, okay, let's finish this off. Use Blizzard. Most epic moment in Pokemon history. He runs through the blizzard, super effective blizzard, lifts his fist and punches this guy and knocks him out. Punches. They said it was like electric punch, whatever. No, he punched this guy and knocked him out. One hit, done. After he's taken a blizzard, a focus beam, whatever, 2 ice beams.
And the hidden power that he fucking backhanded.
What is this? It's the coolest Pokemon in the world. I need a tattoo.
And when he was going through the blizzard, he like closed one eye. He didn't even put like one arm in front of him. He just closed one eye and had his fist backward.
He didn't even use his wings. He's the slowest motherfucker in the world. And he's running face first into this blizzard.
That was really funny.
It was hilarious.
He decked him, and that was one of the coolest moments in the episode, I think.
You got to see if you can find a link, and then
yeah, I'm going to try to find this episode, guys, and I'll have it playing in the background. But otherwise, I mean, you got to check it out. I'll try to track down the episode number. If I do find it, I'll put it as an annotation here. But otherwise, that was really cool.
Also, more on television and movies. We have the Dark Knight Rises trilogy come out this week. We ordered the trilogy Blu-ray set. It's going to be fantastic. We should have an unboxing up as soon as we get it in.
Yeah, those unboxing videos seem to be pretty popular, so we're going to keep doing them. And as we get more subscribers, we'll start giving away prizes. As we get more views, we're going to give away comic books, so maybe some video games, depending on how it goes and how it continues. Don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the videos, the podcasts, or the unboxings. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter, @ReasonsI'mBroke. Let us know what made you broke this week. #ReasonsI'mBroke. I think that'll do it for this week. Thanks again for listening. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelli.
See you next week.